Hey Otters! For math today, we are still going to be working with the formula for volume. The only difference is for today, we're going to be looking at if we have multiple cubes or prisms, what we do to find the volume of all of them altogether. So there will be some story problems. So let's get started. Let's take a look at the directions first. So for more than one prism, we're going to use multiplication. It says what happens when you need to find the volume for more than one item. You can use multiplication to find the volume of multiple containers. So let's look at this example here. It says a gasoline container measures 3 inches by 6 inches by 18 inches. If there are 2 gasoline containers, what is the total volume of these 2 containers? So what we do is we first start by finding the volume of just one container. So they did 3, because it said 3 inches by 6 inches by 18. So they did 3 times 6 times 18, and they got 324 inches cubed, or cubic inches. So that was just the volume of one of these gasoline containers. Now to find the volume of 2 containers, they just took that above answer, 324, and multiplied it by 2 because there's 2 containers. So 324 times 2 is 648. And we want to remember to always include our units here. In this case, it was inches. So the volume of 2 gasoline containers would be 648 cubic inches. So pretty simple. We're just finding the volume of one, which we're used to by doing length times width times height, and then we multiply it by the total number of containers that we have. So lots of multiplication practice here today. So it's really important to take your time on these problems to make sure you're not making any calculation errors. So let's get started on our first practice problem. It says we have 3 ice cream cartons that measure 2 inches by 1 inch by 8 inches. So the first thing I want to remember is that volume equals length times width times height. Now in this case, it does not tell us which is length, height, or width. So we don't know which number to put here for length, here for width, or here for height. But remember with multiplication, you can multiply in any order and you'll still get the same answer. So I will just put them down in the order that they were given. So volume here equals, let's do 2 inches by 1 inch by 8 inches. All right, so 2 times 1 is 2, times 8 is 16, and that would be inches cubed, or cubic inches. But that is just the volume of one ice cream carton. We need to actually find the volume of 3 ice cream cartons. So I'm just going to take that 16, change colors here, the 16 that we got for one carton, multiply it by 3 because we actually have 3 cartons, and 3 times 6 is 18, carry the 1, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So the total for 3 ice cream cartons would be 48 cubic inches, or inches cubed. So that would be final answer. One ice cream carton has a volume of 16 cubic inches, so 3 of them would have a volume of 48 cubic inches. So again, we find the volume of one container and then multiply it by how many containers we have altogether. Let's try another one here. It says we have 4 cookie packages that measure 8 centimeters by 11 centimeters by 3 centimeters. So to find volume, again, we do length times width times height. We don't know which is which here, so we can multiply in any order. We'll do volume equals 8 times 11 times 3. All right, so I know that 8 times 11 is 88, but off the top of my head, I'm not just going to try to figure out 88 times 3, so I'll solve that over here. 88 times 3, and I get 8 times 3 is 24, carry the 2, 3 times 8 again is 24, plus 2 is 26. So the total volume for one cookie package is 264 centimeters cubed. So now we know the volume of one of these cookie packages, but it actually says that we have 4 cookie packages. So we're going to take the volume of one, which was 264 cubic centimeters, and we're going to multiply it by the number of packages that we have, which is 4. So again, multiplication facts are really important here to make sure that we're calculating correctly. So 4 times 4 is 16. Carry the 1. 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Carry the 2. And 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. So I get a total volume of 1,056 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters. So that would be the total volume for 4 cookie packages, since one cookie package has a volume of 264 cubic centimeters. All right, our next problem says we have 2 filing cabinets that measure 2 meters by 1 meter by 3 meters. So our volume for that would be 2 times 1 times 3. This is a little bit of an easier problem for us. 2 times 1 is 2, times 3 is 6. So our volume here is 6, and I'm looking, my units here are meters. So I have 6 meters cubed, or 6 cubic meters. And now it actually says that I have 2 filing cabinets. One of them is 6. So the volume for 2 would just be 6 is the total for 1 times 2 filing cabinets. I have a total volume of 12 meters cubed. That would be my final answer there. All right, let's have you practice a couple here. Here's the problem that I would like you to pause your video for, try it on your own, and then come back to check your answer with my work. All right, learners, let's see how you did. It says we have 5 tissue boxes that measure 4 inches by 5 inches by 7 inches. So my volume would be 4 times 5 times 7. I know that 4 times 5 is 20, and 20 times 7 would be 140. Our units are inches, so inches cubed. All right, but now that was just the volume of one tissue box. We're actually looking for the volume of 5 tissue boxes. So I'm going to do the volume of one tissue box, which is 140, times 5, because I have 5 boxes. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 is 7. So the total volume for 5 tissue boxes would be 700, inches. 700 inches cubed, or cubic inches. So that would be my final answer. I hope you did okay on that one. Let's try one more on your own. So pause the video here, try this one on your own, and then check your work with me when you're done. All right, here we go on our last problem for today. It says we have 7 pudding containers that measure 50 millimeters by 20 millimeters by 10 millimeters. So my volume would be 50 times 20 times 10. So 50 times 20 would be, I'm going to put this down here because there's going to be a lot of zeros. 50 times 20, 5 times 2 is 10, and then 2 more zeros, so that's 1,000 times 10. That would give me 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, so 10,000 millimeters cubed. That is the volume of one pudding container. We actually have 7 pudding containers. So to find that out, I would do the volume of 1 pudding container times 7 would equal 70,000 millimeters cubed, or cubic millimeters. All right, I hope you did well on that problem also. Let's go here to our last page. Here are the Apply My Learning problems for today. At this point, you can either take a screenshot of these or write them down in your notebook to solve, and you're welcome to take a picture of your notebook when you're done. Or a picture of these problems is also in the Canvas assignment. You are welcome to download that into your photos, use the markup tools, and write on it, and then just resubmit that photo with your writing on it. Please let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I look forward to checking over your problems when you're done. Have a great rest of your day.